I wanted to speak to you today about mediumship, of course, as it's what I do. Mediumship never ceases to amaze me, in as much. Some readings go brilliantly well, others not so much. And we all know that. I think those of us that either give mediumship, give readings, or receive them on a regular basis, we know that some days are far better than others. But really what I want to speak to you about today is an experience I had just this morning where I saw a young lady and her mum, mother and daughter, came to see me, where I got maybe 10 minutes into the reading and I thought, I'm just going to have to say it's not working. I was creating ideas, scenarios, people, descriptions coming through. And although the information was received, you can appreciate it was received with a, I can understand, yeah, that could well be, and that may well be the case. And I don't like working that way, of course. None of us do. We like people to say things such as, oh, bloody hell, that's amazing, that's crazy, that's mad, how can you possibly know that? That's definitely 100%. That's kind of the reaction we're looking for in our pursuit to be in better channels, better connectors to the other world. And yet, as I say, we were some way in and I thought, I'm just not sure where this is going. And then something started to change, something started to move, and I started to work with cards. Now, I know I've spoken to you before about maybe using cards to stimulate, and I'm constantly reminded the line from the Dolly Parton song, These Old Bones, that something about, the things that we use help us to see things that we can't see with our eye. So the things that we might normally be able to say to someone can be enhanced by using a tool as an external focus, really. So traditionally people might have used tea leaves or even dried bones, going back some years. And modern day psychics and mediums, we tend to use angel cards or the tarot, etc. So anyway, I started to pull cards in front of me here. And I think energetically it took the focus from me and what I was going to say to these two ladies that literally were sitting in front of me an hour or so back. And that everyone started to look at the cards here assembled. And I always find it amazing because when I'm looking at cards, you would assume that it would be coming from a space of empathy or the psychic, but it's not. Spirit come in and I think they look through my eyes and they refer to things that they want me to know. It made such a difference that I couldn't tell you. A card comes to my mind here, and as I look, I know her mother is in the spirit world. I know her mother has passed many years before. I know she's small like a child when she passes. And information that wasn't clear to me here on my own at all. Like I needed the stimulus almost of seeing something external from myself to truly see. To cut a long story short, it was brilliant. By the end of this hour-long consultation, we'd gone from 0 to hero, just by using this external stimulus to know things. To go through, as I teach students constantly, to visualize in the course of our mind here the letters from A through to Z, or A through to Z, depending where you live, and imagining these A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, 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 K, 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 and it goes on. And just to see whether through the alphabet you get stopped, stuck, a feeling in which you may stop. So I'm trying to look for this lady's mother's name. So I said, should we try to find your mother's name? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and it goes on. Then I go back again. A, B, C, D, E, F. It's an F, I say. Only to hear her to say, no, it's not, I'm really sorry. And this is, again, interesting to me because I go back again from A to B to C to D to E to F, the next letter, to be the G in my mind. And in a second to know it was Gladys. And so it goes from nowhere to somewhere. And of course, then the reaction of your recipient when they receive something is so very, very real. And then to repeat the same feeling with her father's name, which I know to begin with an E, which I know to be 4 letters, which I cannot work out at all what the heck that is because it's so outside of my mind. Then to feel the R, the A and the Z to know Ezra, which is a name that I've heard and a name I really like, but not a name I would easily bring as her father's name, a man of a certain generation. And so I was kind of buzzing, you know, by the time I finished this contact. And as I say, it went well. I went from that straight to a Skype reading for a lady that I was reading for from abroad. And went into that reading like it was easy. And I shall save you the details from the reading, but it was just abundant. It was fun, it was now, it was here, it was of the people that she'd lost. And the whole reading was easy. When I thought, why was that one so easy from the outset? And that is because the mind of the medium had entered its comfortable, confident state, for there were some hits made in the reading prior. I think really what I'm trying to say is, to all those of you that are endeavouring to bring mediumship all the time, sometimes, or on occasion, don't expect it always to be an easy ride. Don't always expect it to start off without fault and start off with complete interpretation. It may not. Sometimes it's a bit of a journey, and a sceptical person might say, well, you know, it wasn't great when you said A, B and C, and hang on to that. But if we can almost forgive ourselves of misinterpretation to a degree, and just sit well and allow ourselves to enter this space of surrender within us, where we're no longer reading from a headspace of I wonder, I think, but rather moves into I feel, I believe, I understand, I am aware of. And we allow the phenomena of the reading, the phenomena of that connection, whether it be from the incarnate to the incarnate of our recipient, or that plus the merge and the meeting of minds when the others from the discarnate world gather close to us. The best of our work, using all sensitivity and empathy and mediumship and psychic as we know it to be at this moment, is when we, the medium, enter a space that's just above us, that almost gives us this faraway look on our eyes as we raise our eyes to the ceiling to hold them there for the moment, that it becomes so much easier for us to perceive what's truly going on here in our mind, as opposed to having this earth conversation, and not being afraid, if we need it, to use something to stimulate the reading, to stimulate that connection, allowing spirit to come in and work with us accordingly. For truly, they don't mind what we do. They don't mind if we use stimulus and tools in which to work for, as long as it works, as long as we're getting there. Those of you that work, those of you who seek those out that work, so you're still looking for your own connection, have greater faith that a wonderful piece of detail and a wonderful connection, a wonderful piece of knowingness, it exists just outside of ourselves. And what we're trying to do here desperately is be in such a space of receptivity that that knowingness comes to us abundantly. These are the workings of a medium's mind, as I lament and celebrate simultaneously. But I only know what I know, because I don't know anything else. And that I know is that when it works, it really works. No question. I'll leave you with those thoughts. Thanks for listening.